and introduce our speakers for this evening. Our first speaker is going to be Tanya Johnson, MA. She's a mental skills coach with a master's degree in sports psychology who specializes in working with equestrian athletes. She offers performance enhancement skills education to assist riders in achieving excellence with their horses. Tanya helps riders apply mental skills in a variety of equestrian disciplines, including dressage, three-day eventing, and hunter jumpers. She offers group clinics, individual phone or in-person appointments for riders. She is the author of the popular equestrian sports performance book, Inside Your Ride, Mental Skills for Being Happy and Successful with Your Horse. Our second presenter tonight is Kimball Wilson. She's a certified health coach with an extensive background in the equestrian industry. As a lifelong rider and competitor, she understands the dietary and lifestyle struggles faced by today's equestrian athletes. She specializes in guiding and supporting riders for all levels and disciplines who want to gain more energy, improve their diet and lifestyle, and ultimately perform at their best in competition. In her program, she strives to create a positive environment that is tailored to the client's unique needs and free of denial and restrictions. So we have two great guests, and we're going to get to them. But I just want to have a quick disclaimer. None of this information is tailored to any individual's specific needs. So if you have specific questions, you can reach out to either of these two. I'm sure they'll be able to help you. But this is in no way intended to be directly related to you. So just take that for what it is. And I'm going to pass it over to my Lizzie, and she's going to kind of start us off here.
Okay, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take you through, Tanya and Kimball are going to take you through 4 scenarios that horse professionals find themselves in. So our first scenario tonight is, we call it Wednesday at home. And so I want you to imagine this. Beth is an assistant trainer at a large training barn, and today she has 7 horses to ride in the morning and then afternoon lessons to teach. Beth has been noticing that she's unfocused when she schools the horses. She was used to a lot of supervision as a junior and amateur, but now that she is a professional, she's struggling to track details for the horses and riders she teaches. Due to her large workload, we all know what that's like, and the demands on her time, Beth hasn't been feeling herself lately. Her stomach seems a little bloated and her mind is foggy. What can Beth do to refocus and feel like herself again? And we're going to start with Tanya, and then Tanya's going to pass it over to Kimball.
Great. So thank you. So Beth is in a bit of a struggle at the moment. She's feeling overwhelmed, and so I sort of chose a couple of mental skills strategies she could use to help herself feel more organized, get more focused, and feel more in control of the direction she's going with the time she's spending, right? So if she's only has, 20 to 30 minutes with each of these horses she's going to ride, for example, she wants to make sure she's being as positive and productive as possible. So one of the things that really is helpful is making sure for herself that she's still working on personal performance goals as an athlete, like herself as an athlete and as someone who wants to continue to learn and grow. So not adopting a mindset of that's closed or fixed, like, okay, I know it all and now I've got to make all these horses, step up and do their job just right all the time, but really letting it be more of a fluid process. And so being able to see, okay, what are the areas I still need to develop that I am working on and continuing to work on? Just because now I'm not an amateur anymore and I've turned professional, maybe she's able still to identify with help. And maybe that means for herself watching video of herself and being able to pick out things she still wants to work on. It's really helpful to keep narrowing it down so that she's able to fine-tune things so that she's able to, like I said, enhance her focus. That also can be asking for help, like getting ground help, getting someone in, even once a month can be helpful, or being at a show and picking out a professional she respects if she can, or her head trainer, hopefully, whoever her boss is able to give that, ideally, of course. Sometimes that's tough with, if she's an assistant trainer that's staying home while the head trainers are on the road, that can be challenging, but it's important for her to seek out those opportunities so that she can be choosy, because one of the things that starts to happen with a lot of different horses and riding a lot and teaching a lot is all of these goals can start to blend together and be very murky, and that can be very stressful. So being able to be choosy and keep a positive view on what you want to have happen by writing them out, by saying, okay, here I am, Beth, and I am working on continuing to stay loose in the corner with my elbow so that I'm not gonna revert back to being tense at all with this particular horse. I'm going to make sure that there's a looseness and a flow and a rhythm, for example. That could be a process goal that she wants to set. Also making sure that she's discussing with the head trainer, maybe in meetings with clients as well, about having outcome goals then boil down into performance goals. So an outcome goal being more, wanting to qualify for a certain final, how does that boil down to a performance goal at home? Okay, we need to work on X consistently for this next month. That can really help guide her focus when she's teaching. So that can be really helpful. So not only for herself as an athlete, but then also getting in the loop with the head trainer and with clients and making sure everyone's on the same page. That can be a good guiding force for her when she's teaching, so she feels like there are priorities that everyone understands. Another piece there, then, what I mentioned earlier about the video, a lot of times in this scenario, what she's talking about, as a junior and amateur, you're so used to having someone on the ground and someone's eyes on you and someone's feedback a lot. Well, if you don't have that, you really want to look for opportunities to do that for yourself, and video is one of the best ways to do that, so that you can find things to give yourself some positive feedback. Because some of that stress and some of the, tracking details is it falls through the cracks when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Even if it's just, one horse a week, that can still give you a lot about what you're doing, the information and communication you're having with that particular horse. So video is a great way to do that. Having a method to track that progress. So if you're able to see video and then write down things you're liking, progress and the way it's going forward can be super, super helpful to write that down and jot it down specifically so you can reflect on it. Okay, so Kimball, do you want to address some of the other issues Beth is facing?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, there are definitely a few things in here that stand out to me in Beth's situation. And the first is with her diet. And is she eating to maintain her energy and support her riding? It's important that she eats right for her body type or her metabolic type. And we all have different biochemical needs, and what makes one person feel amazing may not work for her. And I'd recommend that she start by first tracking what she's eating in a food journal, even if it's just for a week or two, to see which foods help her feel her best and which ones may be dragging her down, having her, or when she experiences that bloating feeling. And just really get to know herself a little bit better when it comes to the way that she reacts to foods. She definitely should not skip meals. And it sounds like with this type of busy situation she's got in her new job, that this might be something that shows up, I know, and as a young professional, this type of, putting your business first and putting your job before can actually be detrimental. And by skipping meals, it can lead to fluctuations in her blood sugar, and it can cause some of this foggy thinking and the fatigue that she experiences. Next, I recommend that she balance her meals with whole unprocessed foods, and these are foods that do not come in packages with labels. So your meat, your vegetables, and in some cases, whole grains. Each meal should consist of protein, carbs, and healthy fats. And the combination will vary depending on that person's specific needs. As I said, everybody is different, but including these 3 macronutrients in each meal will help her feel fuller longer and can give her the energy that she needs to get through her day with all of this activity. And we've been told for years that fat will make us fat, and studies actually show that it is critical for a healthy functioning body. Plus, it helps us to absorb vitamins and nutrients in our food. So a general example would be breakfast of scrambled eggs and veggies, and if she's in a rush, maybe she can have a protein shake with some avocado or coconut oil. Lunch and dinners could be salad mixed up maybe with some chicken or fish on top, and olive oil and vinegar as a salad dressing. And then as I looked at this, I see one other area that I would definitely want to address. And first of all, if Beth were a client of mine, I would start by doing a full health history consultation with her to see if we can really identify the root cause of her main complaints of not feeling herself, having the stomach bloat, and having the foggy thinking or foggy brain. So I believe that with the unfamiliar demands of her new job, she may need to learn some new coping mechanisms for the stress and this pressure, but there could be some other issues that are showing up that may be making her feel run down. And I'd look specifically at her adrenal function to see if her body's hormones are reacting to her increased stress levels. And I'd also test her digestive function, especially with the complaints that she has some bloating and some pain in her stomach, I think is what it was. But there could be some hidden stresses in there, and hidden stresses is just like what it sounds, where there are malfunctions in the body that she may not even recognize, but they could be draining her energy. And in her case, she may benefit from some digestive enzymes and some adrenal support, but that would all depend on her test results correlating with her complaints. And bottom line is, I would start by balancing her meals for consistent energy and taking a deeper look at these hidden stressors through some simple lab tests, in order to uncover any potential healing opportunities and ways that she can best support her health and get back to feeling herself.